what can I say? What a boring day. It has been so painful for me just watching the market just crawl along, doing absolutely near to nothing. With that said, I'm going to draw up the alternate play to this. I've been using the squiggly lines, but I also want to show you what it could be if it turns to the other direction. All right, so we've seen this setup, and we can get back to it at a later point really quickly if this is what transpires. But I'm just going to put together the alternate idea just to show you what it looks like. Following the structure of MTOPS, we're going to go bit by bit. All right, so I'm going to go back to here. What you can see is clear definitions of information that is important to us. What I'm talking about here are the highs and the lows. When the market is slow moving and ranging and hardly doing anything, it's sometimes difficult to point out where the highs and the lows are. So if ever you are in that position, what you want to do is just go and anchor into exactly where the undeniable highs and lows are and work off of there. I suppose another good example is that we've been kind of eyeing out that as a high, that as a low, that as a high. So that's a good example of a little bit of confusion. But when that happens to you, just go back to what is the undeniables, right? So we got that as a low, that as a high, that as a low, that as a high. So I'm pretty confident that that is the setup over there. And then that becomes our base to work from. And then we can I don't know. I've been coding all day today, fixing endless things. Anyway, boring story. All right, so my brain's basically mush, which is a good sign to say that I'm working hard. In other words, okay. So the market structure, should this be a low that is lower than that low, which is then lower than that low, then according to the rule of following trend, the next low should form underneath there. Okay, so price should retract to underneath this line to continue this down, or I would say downtrend, I suppose. However, there are trend reversals, and what I'm trying to get to is that I think this has been going down long enough, and I've got a feeling that we're going to see a higher low and then climb back up. All right, so if that is the way. So as I made mention to, we've got that original configuration, which is one of the two options. It seems like the price is trying to climb up towards it, which kind of makes this frivolous. Let's see if I can bring that back, because I don't necessarily want to do a full setup and then see price go back to our original target. So getting through the rest of it real quick, time forecast with my naked eye. And for those who want to learn more about it, I've got a paid course. Yep, shameless self-promotion. Feel free to climb on board if you like what you see over here. Yeah, so this would be more or less the time forecast, and for that reason I get a good understanding of how big my GAN square should be. So yeah, this is starting to say that the other option is better, as there isn't strong confluence along the shape of this GAN square down. I think if we had to reduce it freehand, you'll see something that's a bit better, but I'll need for that to line up with the support and resistance over here. Oscillator is hard to come by, or hard to go by. The price forecast we can get back into a second, and the support and resistance is what we're going to look for when we lay down our GAN. So what you want to do to lay down your GAN is go to the previous same side transition, and this is, we're going to try and make it small, and then line it up with one of the levels. Once you've done that, bring it across and see if the scaling makes sense. Now, once again, this does look good, but it could also look good in the other direction as a linear progression. Right now, it's a bit messy, so it's kind of hard to say on whether it's just building around here and then looking to do something else or not. So if that's the case, then I would suggest that price would land up a little bit deeper into this quadrant, and that would look like this. So somewhere along as it is, then stop over here, reduce itself to maybe this point and perhaps go up, or alternatively down to about there and then go back up. That's just the way cycles work. But because price is on the rise, we're going to take that away, and hopefully without having to reset everything. Oh, it's magic. Ah, there we go. Our original forecast is there. All right, that's it for today, guys. One last little note is I've noticed TradingView is a bit buggy with its software still, and it's 2024, which is crazy. So when I put down a cycle line, or basically end of cycle indicator vertical line, when I open up my charts again, I see it somewhere else, maybe over there, somewhere down there, and for some reason it doesn't stick to where it should. So should you guys be experiencing something similar, it's probably a TradingView problem, and just delete it, I guess, or just drag it back to where your 4-quadrant cycle should end. All right, I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Ciao for now.